Welcome back. We're going to be covering the second half of setting up your author page today. I know that I covered a lot of information in the first one and gave you a lot of information about applications that you can add to your page. I'm going to show you some of them in use on my CJ Ellison page, and we're also going to give you a list written out of some applications that I've tried that I find very useful so that you can then add them to your page as well. I'll also go back and show you a little bit about editing those applications so that they show up how you want. Before we get to that, I want to show you some of the ones I've discussed with what was on my Start Here Welcome tab in one of the other videos. It's called Free Reads, Free Downloads. Right here I label it as Free Reads. It's a scribed application. Let's click on Free Downloads and you'll see what I mean. I have a free book up on Amazon. It's a short story with half of my first vampire book showing up. So right here, people can download the file. I have another one where this is another excerpt, and it's from the second book, and they can download the file here. I think it's a great way for people to try my work without having to buy the book. I mentioned in an earlier video that there was a program or a service, I should say, that if you paid more, you would know what all the downloads were. That's powered by Involver. Involver is an outside website that offers a lot of these applications and plugins for your Facebook page. They give you 3 for free, and then after that they charge you. The price, like I said in an earlier video, was very expensive, so I don't know exactly how effective these free downloads are, but I have had people comment about them, and I think getting people talking is always important. So that was one of them, and that's by Scribed. And again, I said there'll be a list of applications for you to be able to check out. So please don't panic that you have to scribble all this information down right now. Another one I wanted you to check out is one that I paid for called Survey. I thought it was terrific to get information, and I'll show you why. Help decide on the next VVN book. I talk about what I want them to do, what I want them to help me with. I was asking them about whether or not I should be doing one book with 3 parts to it, or publish the same parts as individual novellas so that people would have the story faster. People answered my questions, gave me their feedback, and what's important is I was able to export this information later on. So here we are, results. It tells me what everyone's results and answers were, and it gives me emails where I asked them to opt in, and I can put them all. I asked them if they wanted to be did they want to receive an advance copy, and then I asked other people if they would want to be on my email list, and I had 31 people that opted in. So then I put them on my email list. They have to opt in on the email list to receive anything, but you get the point. It's a nice passive way to be able to have a question, you get reader interaction, and then they're excited by being a part of it and they want to follow through and be on your newsletter. Another way to make sure that you're getting people to contact you directly is to have it available. Right here, this Contact Me, Contact CJ, Email Me tab. This is really easy and free. You get to upload the image that you want. I probably get about 1 message a week through this, which I thought is pretty cool considering I did this before Facebook offered that ability to message someone through a page. Now I get more messages through the page, but you do occasionally get people on here. So that's another one that'll be in the list for you to check out. Now, I want to go back to CJ Stern and show you a little bit about how you're going to be setting these tabs up to look the way that you want. If you want to change something here, you can, and I'll show you how. As you go up here where it says Edit Page, you're going to do Edit Settings, and you'll see here on the left we have a whole bunch of things to choose from. I'll go over every one of these things step by step in a later video, but right now I want to stay focused on what we were talking about, which was applications. So I'm going to hit their Apps button, and right here, I can find out what's being used right now and what isn't. Some of these are Facebook ones right here. Video, I didn't put this one in. This is a Facebook one. Events, same thing. But if you recall, it did not show up on my page. Let me show you. Right now, those apps are available to me to add, but if I click here, it's only the ones that I have added. So some of you may have some features that Facebook offers you for free that you aren't utilizing on your author page because you didn't know how to access them. So we go back up here to Edit Settings. I pick Apps. I'm going to scroll down and show you when it's here and you want to add it, you have to go to Edit Settings. And it tells you the tab is available. I want to add it. Let's just check out what additional permission says. Has published, permission to publish content on my wall, which is terrific. If you want to do an event, you now have it where people can access your events are, and you've given it permission to post on your wall so that people can share it and like it and attend it. Now, notes is pretty interesting. I have put some chapter excerpts up here before a book launches for people to be able to read it, or a full chapter, whatever I feel like doing. So I'm going to add this tab as well. I'll go back and show you on my CJ page how it's used to the best of its abilities. I even have sign-up forms and newsletter forms on some of them for people to sign up, which we can cover in a more advanced course later for how you can really up your email list to make sure that you have an email list of readers that you can reach out to every time a book releases. We talked about how to change pictures on things. Well, they make it pretty easy for you. Right here where custom tab image change. If I didn't want that cute little forum button right here, I can edit it and change it. And it tells you where they're real sweet about that. They give you the sizes right here. 111 by 74 pixels. Now, previously I told you that it was okay to go larger in size when you're doing the banner because Facebook would shrink it down. You cannot do that when you're trying to do one of these buttons. You have to stick to that. File limit size is 5 meg. I don't know how in the heck you can get a 5 meg file that big, but if you make this like 400 pixels per inch, it's still going to be a super tiny file. All right, now that we've covered how to go in there and edit, I wanted to make sure that I covered posting relevant content. I'm going to go back to my author page to show you a bit more of that. Everyone's going to have their own idea about what is relevant content. When we talked in an earlier video about your public image and what you're trying to cultivate, think about that in regards to your John one what you write. My best friend Boone, she writes some fantasy stories. So on her author page, she occasionally shares terrific fantasy pictures, like fairy gardens and elaborate pictures in the woods that might be like a hidden cottage somewhere, reminds you of something in Lord of the Rings, or great tree houses that you would just die to live in, stuff like that. Since my books I'm focusing on with this one is over here, Avoiding Mr. Right. It's a contemporary romance that came out. I post a lot more contemporary stuff. Okay, this was my I love this breed of dog, so I've got this here. But let's see. Man Candy Monday. Now come on, we write romance, ladies. There's no reason why we can't have some shirtless guys on our wall. And I went a little bit further with it, and I did a nice feature for most of the summer, which was Name That Shirtless Stud. I took celebrity pictures that I found online, and I shared them here. I don't own these photos. They're already freely available online. I'm not trying to make money off of them. I believe it falls under fair use because I'm not trying to make money off of it. I'm just trying to engage people. I mentioned this one in another one, that since I write some funny stuff with lots of humor and sex, I thought this was great with the image before about rearrange these letters. So what else do I have on here? I've got some reader parties that are coming up. So when I posted the event, they showed up here. Now, unfortunately, a bunch of them I all did at one time, and they're all showing up. And I think that's too many. So one thing that you might want to do once in a while is clean your wall up. Think about it this way. When you put ads on here and you start directing new people, they're going to scroll down your wall and see what your page is all about. I don't mind that I've got Man Candy Monday there, but maybe I don't need all these things that look like they are promotional. So I'm going to hide them from the page. That one's hidden for August. And then I'm going to come up and hide this one as well for September. I mean, how far out do I really need to go with this stuff? And everyone's comments here are still going to show up on the event wall. They're not going to be erased just because I hid them from this. If someone comments on again, it'll usually spark it back up and it'll come back up. I do a Fireman Friday post, which is very popular with the ladies. And this is a friend of mine, Jenny Bernard. She has some awesome fireman covers, so I'm going to be really excited to share a couple of hers over the summer. Like I said, you have to figure out what content it is that you want to relay to your readers. What's considered relevant? For some people, it might be recipes. It might be locale shots on the book that you're working on, meaning if you have gone there yourself and taken pictures, you're allowed to share those photos on Facebook. If it's a famous photo that you are giving credit to the photographer right on the image, you might be able to share it. Otherwise, I think you might be a little bit iffy on what you're allowed to share. I know recently I took a trip to the Outer Banks. I went to the Outer Banks tourist website owned by the state, and I took one of their images there and I shared it as where I was, which was better, better picture than I ever could have done myself. And I know that kind of thing is allowed because it's a public website and it's, from a national park. You might also want to do funny pictures like this one. Hey, you. Yeah, you. My bed, no clothes, all night long. Buy need included, immediately. It's got a ton of people, 248 shares for crying out loud. You want and not that many comments, 22. But this kind of thing, come over here and look at what the insights were. 15,000 people saw this post. Okay, it's funny. It has nothing to do with my writing, but I write paranormal. He stars in supernatural. Put it together. Your readers are going to like it. You can also put inspirational pictures on here. And I don't mean inspirational meaning religious. I mean, what hot guy is inspiring you to write that latest chapter? What are your personal interests aside from them being hot men? Do you have any personal interests, like something that you might do in the community? Is scouting important to you? Are you active in your church? Anything that you value is relevant content because it allows the reader to get to know you better. That does not mean you need to put pictures up here of your latest dinner, or comment about your laundry, or complain about how hot it is. That's nice, but come on. How engaging is that? The whole point when you're posting relevant content is to engage your readers. Next, what we're going to cover is liking other pages while using Facebook as your author page. Okay, so here we go. We're going to come up here to this little wheel on the corner, and you're going to see use Facebook as. I'm going to use Facebook as CJ Ellison. And I'm going to start. Okay, now that we are using Facebook as our author page, you'll see here who you're using it as by up in the corner here. As I mentioned in a previous video, my personal profile for my pen name is C and then capital C lowercase j. So I know by the picture and by the way this is written that it's me using Facebook as my author page. What's important about this is the way that you can interact with other business pages and how they can in turn help to spread the word about you. So if I go and hit the home feed here, this is not the same one that I see for my personal profile. These are all pages and people that I have liked as my author persona, as my author page. So that you'll see a lot of other authors here. Okay, the I Love Pipples, there we go. More authors. I swear I have bloggers. Okay, here's one. It's more genre. I love vampire novels. More authors. Gosh, we post a lot, don't we? Okay, Anne Rice. Salicious Reads. That's another, nice little blog. Oh, New Orleans Witches Ball. So these are events that I've either attended in the past or would like to attend. Publishers. YA Book Addict. This is a blog. Red Hot Readers. This is another one of my pages. Let's see. Author, Me and Reading. So this is a nice reader-focused page. And then Sassy Book Lovers is also more focused with reading genre, like book clubs and blogging. And ones I did that are not showing up right now in my most recent ones, which are discount pages. So let me go back and show you how it's effective to have discount pages and freebie pages and things like that. We're going to go back to my main page, which is you've seen many times already. And over here where it says, who do I like? If you're new and you want to find some great blogs, great reviewers, genre pages to follow, come here and look at this. You scroll onto my page and you have See All. What happens is as you're going through it, it comes up with a button here that says, like or that you can like it. Obviously, I've liked all of these. This is my page. Recently, I've done a lot of writers because this is with Teaser Tuesday. So let me scroll through some of these. Yes, I did a lot of writers recently. Okay, trying to get down some other ones. Okay, these are all blogs. Talk Soup, I'm Loving Books, another author. At one point, I also did, like I said, freebie, coupons, discounts, and I'm hoping we can get down to some of those. It's obviously been a long time. I think I've got hundreds and hundreds of ones that I like. Casual reader. So there's a lot of good ones in here you can check out. Okay, my point about doing the ones that were for free reads and coupons and things is when you have a book that goes on sale, if you're polite and you contact these people and ask them to spread the word, then you should be able to have them. Here we go. Canadian coupon and freebie links. That's at least one of them. Quickie book reviews. That's not one of them. Let's see. Here we go. Priceless product reviews, giveaways, and freebies. If you go to these places and you ask them to share when you have a special, they might just do it. I know I had a lot of people who did it for me, and it helped when I had a freebie with my Kindle Select when that program first came out. Now it might be better if you're doing it with something else, but for a sale, 99 cents, whatever. I'd like to show you one more thing before we go today, and that is something that you cannot see when you stop by my page. You're only allowed to have so many of these applications showing, and there are ones down here that aren't being used right now for the public, but I do offer links to them for other people. I have a Street Team application. This is done in a Google form, and then it filters over into here, and I have everything written out about what the do's and don'ts are with my Street Team. I want to know what books they've read. I want to know if they've left any reviews, and they need to leave me the URL links. This is all for them to join my Street Team so that it's done ahead of time. When I did a first shout out for my Street Team, I had a lot of people that wanted to join for free swag, and they hadn't read my books. So 300 and some odd people later, I've learned my lesson, and I make sure whoever I have come in now, that at least they've read my stuff. All right, that's about it for now. I can help you set up these Google Forms, but we'll do it in another class. I believe I've given you enough information for setting up your author page and for us to have a lot to talk about in the forums. Looking forward to talking to you guys later. Bye-bye.